Hello everyone, this is Valkyrie Force. I'm going to attempt to play the original arcade Contra, which came out in 1987. And February 20th marks the 30th anniversary since this entire franchise was started, the Contra franchise, as well as pretty much the run and gun genre for video games. And as you can see even from this demo here, that a very large part of that being popular is the ability to play it with another player. It's two-player cooperated action and so forth. So anyway, let's jump right in. So you got the first level, and you got weapons and standard rifle. You just keep pressing the fire button. Popular spread gun, exploding bridge, foot soldiers, gun turrets, all that good stuff. You also have some snipers coming up in a little bit here, which usually hide in the bushes like that right there. And these gun turrets like to pop out of the ground. A lot of people like to use the spread gun, but usually I like to stick with machine gun. It's one of my favorite weapons usually throughout the franchise. And let's see here. This is popular battle wall, which occurs throughout the franchise. And of course you got the 3D stages. Things are moving pretty quick already, so I'm just getting the hang of it a little bit. Got these electric fences too in this level, which really don't harm you, they just kind of shock you or stun you for a moment. You can pretty much duck under all the bullets that come out of this area. It's nothing too difficult. Usually if you remember everything when the enemies appear, you can pretty much memorize this entire game and know where to stand and where to shoot. Whoops. I've got kind of a round D-pad on me right now, so sometimes I accidentally press up or down or left or right, so. And here's yet another boss, which actually only the stages 2 and 4 are the only ones that actually have a boss theme. And as seen in the NES game, there's some differences here and there, but most of it is the same. I do like the last stretch of levels. Usually they're actually connected all together. Got a couple commandos here. The thing that's kind of tricky about this level is jumping. You can see the bullets just kind of fly up. There's some tight spots like this right here. Usually I like to jump through this level pretty quick, make short work of it. It's nothing too troubling, just gotta look out for all these guys coming out. And of course this part's a little bit tricky if you're not careful. Safe spot is like kind of next to the middle. We're kind of right here. So that bullet's always going to land right next to you. So anyway, I'm planning to do the arcade versions, and then I'm going to move to the NES games. But yeah, anyway, here's another 3D level. So I'm looking forward to getting some of the later games. This is kind of a humble beginning for Contra, but it's in some of the later games that you'll see some of the crazier sequences, such as the jet bikes and the riding missiles and stuff like that. Stuff like that's kind of gotten popular since Contra 3. We've had some spin-offs like Hardcore Uprising and so forth. Anyway, this is kind of more of the same. You got a little bit more barricade and guns and stuff like that. It's nothing too difficult if you know what you're doing. Like any good game, it just takes practice over time. Things are probably going to get more challenging when I reach these last few levels. Which really the last few levels... Oh, oops. Didn't even realize I grabbed the spread gun, but anyway. Here's the next boss. And this time you have these little guys coming out, trying to cause mayhem and trouble. These guys are a little bit tricky, especially if you only have the standard rifle. Maybe it's a good thing I have the spread gun right now. Parts like this are a little bit challenging when you have the machine gun. It's only straightforward firing. You've got all that much going on. Anyway, it doesn't seem too bad right now. those little projectiles. You can only hit these guys when they're all formed together like that. See how it splits in two, and it's invincible until it comes into one entity, or one single unit, whatever you want to call it. And we have the famous snow level. I think you could just jump and shoot that guy with the spread gun. You almost kind of point blank. Got some rifle guys here. Oh, there's my first death. Bound to happen sooner or later. But thankfully we've got a machine gun coming up in a little bit. Try not to miss it. But of course this guy's gonna get in my way. So just gotta brute force it a little bit. Yeah, that R, by the way, is rapid, so you can fire your weapon a little bit faster. I didn't even mention the weapons, actually. You got all these different weapons, the machine gun, the spread gun, the fireball, and the laser. I think the fireball is one of my least favorites. It just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of slow, and it arcs in a circle and things like that. I think I once, very unfortunately, I had that in the NES version, and somehow I fired it at just the right time as an enemy was coming right for me, and it arced like right over them somehow, so they were like in a safe spot. That was, chances of that happening are incredibly slim, so I really wouldn't be that concerned about it, but all the same, it's just not my favorite weapon. Laser can be a little bit challenging too, but I do like that weapon once in a while. It's kind of fun. You can see that was a little safe spot for this boss. Funny looking football player guy. He looks a little more like a robot in the NES title, so I do like that. And of course the NES Contra is the one that popularized this whole thing. So these would be separate levels in the NES version. This would be stage 7. Okay, getting a little bit tight here. So you've got a lot of these trap spikes and mine carts. And now we're coming up on the alien layer. Got at least another gun turret coming up too, so gotta be extra careful. And we have another popular enemy here coming up. This gets a little bit tricky with the machine gun. Just gotta keep spinning in circles. Ooh, man, it gets really crowded really fast. Another instance where you probably want a spread gun, preferably. Yeah, somehow I always end up with a standard rifle in this last stretch. Got these funny little mouths that shoot these little homing, I don't know, whatever they are, those little fuzzball looking things. I always like the last level music too. Music in this game is just classic. And you can tell you're close to the final boss when you start to see these guys. These things take so many hits. Sometimes it's probably better. I could probably just brute force this like this and just not care. So you just watch in the moment. Just like that. And just like that, I got 15 lives. Not that it matters anymore. But anyway, that's pretty much the first Contra right there. It's really not that long. And let's see, I only did this in, what, 9 minutes? Well, it's not much of an ending to it, really. There's just no ending at all. Just rolling credits and silly faces. Nothing to write home about, but I do like that the NES version... Well, at least you see that helicopter escape from the island, but really the Japanese version of the original Contra on the NES or the Famicom, that one actually has a lot more to it, because you actually have, like, the map. It actually shows you a map of the levels, and then you get these little intermissions with the characters and dialogue, which unfortunately isn't included in the US version. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you in Super Contra. Alright, take care.